Hey everyone, it's Elaine, and today I'm going to be reviewing Fire and Blood, which is George R. R. Martin's latest book, which recounts the history of House Targaryen. It starts with their arrival in Westeros and Aegon I conquering the Seven Kingdoms and becoming their king, and it ends with the Lysene Spring. Fire and Blood is not like George R. R. Martin's other novels. It's a historical retelling, so it's a little drier and it's told from the perspective of a single, unreliable narrator who bases his narration off of three other sources that often conflict with one another. So the main difference is that we're not shown his character's thoughts, we're not given their motivations. The narrator guesses at why certain people did certain things. Um, I didn't like this style as much as the style that Martin adopted in A Game of Thrones and his other novels. Um, I felt it was drier and it was harder to get to understand certain characters, but I understand why Martin did it this way. If he had done it like A Game of Thrones, it would have been a massive undertaking and that would probably have been a bit of an endeavor. Um, I really liked the book, and I especially enjoyed the pictures that were included, and I'll just show you one on the back, which is, I think, a dragon going through King's Landing with, I think, a rider on the back somewhere. Um, but there were certain things that I really did struggle with this novel. For example, there are a lot of characters to keep track of, and some of them are only mentioned in passing, and they're still somewhat important. Another big issue was that a lot of the characters had similar names, like Aemon, Aegon, Aemond, with a D. And sometimes they weren't mentioned for several pages, and that just made things worse. I think George R. R. Martin figured out that people would have trouble, keeping track of everybody. So he gave some of his characters extra titles like the Sneeze Snake or the Clubfoot or the Young King or the Younger, the Older, those sorts of things, which helps sometimes, but sometimes it really wasn't enough, and I still struggled to keep track of everybody. Um, with that being said, I still really liked the novel, although I really would have preferred to be able to see into their minds, and I think it would have made it easier to remember the characters and keep track of the characters. So, with that being said, I give this novel a 3.8 out of 5 stars. Thanks.